Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. The Bitcoin price has very recently here started to move up again. We had that, a small breakout to the upside, and we're going to take a look at the shorter time frames in a minute. We need to be aware that in around 3.5 hours from when I record this video, the weekly candle is going to close. So this is 1 o'clock UK time, 2 o'clock German time. I'm not sure about the other ones, but this will be at 0 UTC, 0 o'clock. 0 o'clock, do you say that? Right. So anyway, what I want to show you here is obviously the weekly candle that is important today, especially now that we've seen some price action, which is fantastic. So what I really would like to point out here is obviously we came down here, and we've seen here on the weekly this kind of W pattern. We're now coming down, and what is interesting is obviously if we are going to see in the next week, and that will be important, if we're going to see in the next week a engulfing candle like that one. So we had it before obviously, and this could then confirm my still primary scenario where we would first move up and then come down finally after we reach an area of, well, at least 51k. That would be the absolute minimum, but 55 to 61 would be quite likely. And that would then confirm that scenario that we continue to move up, as I already showed you in the previous video here, this bullish wave count and the ascending broadening wedge. So we're going to talk a little bit about that when I dive into the detail. But this will be interesting. So anybody who doesn't know what an engulfing candle is, or in this case an engulfing bullish one, it would mean that first of all you have a red candle. So in this case, in this current week, you have a red candle, and the candle of the next week then would be a candle of at least the same size, but ideally bigger. Well, at least the same size, so it must be bigger, and it needs to fully engulf the previous price action. Ideally, you even engulf the price action of the previous two, but that's fine. I mean, that one was already a green candle, but you could engulf here possibly the price action of the previous two red weekly candles, and that would be a super bullish signal. And even with that, I have no doubt that we could move into this green target area. So that would be interesting, especially as the weekly obviously broke bullish. The weekly MACD did go bullish, so all of that is in line with my still primary scenario. But we need to say that both scenarios have a very similar likelihood at the moment. So the idea obviously that we move up first and then come down, or that we go down straight away, it's a fairly similar likelihood at the moment. The end result will be the same in my opinion, but we are the problem is that the indicators themselves, we've got the MACD, we've got the ADX and the RSI, they at the moment would support both rising prices and falling prices. It was different down here where we talked about that wave 4 coming, those price increases, because we were massively oversold on the RSI. I think even on the weekly RSI we were fairly oversold, or at least on the 4-day chart. So this is what I'm looking for next week, a possibly engulfing green candle. That would be a certainly very bullish signal, and would also help a lot of altcoins again to recover after such a red week that we had. Now if we go to the ideally let's stay in the daily chart first. So as I already showed you in the previous video today, is this wave count here, that 1 2 3 4 5, where we move up first, 1 2 3 4 5. We came down a little bit too low with that wave 4, but it's still fine, it's still valid. I explained it in the previous video, because we cut into the price area from wave 1, but that's fine. We are in a wave C, because this here is part, so this 5-wave move up is part of a C wave, which again is part of a larger degree wave B. So a C wave is also an impulsive wave, and in this case again would consist of 5 waves. So if we really find support here in this green box, this is based on Fibonacci levels for a wave 4, and we could theoretically even go down to 41.5k with that. Below that, it would be quite unlikely that it's still a wave 4. But as I showed you in the previous video here, this support level, this seems to be where we're finding support. We have 1 2 3 touch points, and from here we could really then move up in the next wave, and that would be then that 1 2 3 4, that would be the 5th wave. In this case, it would then be possibly the longest wave, but as I said, we need to get at least to 51k, we don't necessarily need to go higher. But in this scenario, the 51K level would be what I would think is the minimum, yeah, but ideally higher, All right, but on the way up now, if this happens, and for that we go to the shorter time frame, we need to get through this key area here. Yeah, and this is sitting between 47.5 and 48.3K. This will be very, very relevant in any way up or in any move up to really get through this area. This will be highly relevant. We need to do it. So earlier today when I made my Bitcoin video, I told you that, yeah, we broke out of that descending wedge. Yesterday we identified here this bullish divergence on the chart plus a descending wedge, which is generally a bullish reversal pattern. And then we broke out overnight. And earlier today I showed you that we did break out. So where were we? I think we were, to adjust it a little bit, we were here, and this was the video earlier today where we were coming down here, doing that retest, yeah, talked about that, and I told you, yes, we do the retest, but it's weekend, so we haven't seen increased volume yet, and where you want to get above is that previous rejection point here, and then we can see quite a bit of a move, and I would consider this is quite a significant move that we see here at the moment on the 1 hour. So as we obviously broke above this rejection point at 42.9K, that candle was, yeah, quite significant compared to the previous one. So we moved up 1.4%. I mean, it's not massive, but if you compare it to the previous price action, certainly looks like a breakout. The problem is we don't see massive volume yet, but we see increased volume. You can see that. And yeah, now we are moving up, obviously. And on the 1 hour, we are now close to getting overbought again, but it's only the 1 hour chart. So let's take a look quickly here at the VPVR. You can see here, this is exactly where we're finding resistance now at 43.5K. So it makes sense that we're getting here a little bit exhausted as well, because we have moved up. The good thing is we are making here a series of higher lows. You can see that, and also higher highs currently, yeah. So it's starting to look interesting. Obviously, this is exactly currently here where resistance is, that 43.5K level. So we need to get above that. And then I think the next level would be the 44.5K level. We had resistance and support there before. This is sort of this region here. And then we have the 45.5K level, yeah. All of these are resistance levels that were already resistance on the previous move up. Yeah, so it's starting to look interesting. We start to go up in line with my primary scenario still at the moment, but it's only if you zoom out, only a very small move, but certainly at the moment it's looking like a breakout to the upside. What this could become is an inverse head and shoulders as well. So we have obviously here this target range, or well, this range for the wave 4 in which it can move and would still be a wave 4. With here a little bit of a resistance level at this 44, well, it's actually 44.1, because we had here a touch point. Just thinking it's looking like that this could become a bit of a inverse head and shoulders again, couldn't it? That you now move up, maybe break here, come all the way up to 44.1, 44.2, do a bit of a move down, and then you could break out and finally get there. Bitcoin makes it very interesting at the moment. Yes, it looks boring, but it's really here at the tipping point of which scenario is playing out, and for now it seems like we're starting to go up again, but we're still fighting, aren't we? And the weekly candle hasn't closed. It's currently pointing towards the upside after we broke above that descending wedge. As I said, we saw the bullish divergence. We're now seeing this bullish divergence play out as a bullish crossover on the 4 hour chart. You probably see this as well on the 8 hour here very soon. We're going to get a bullish crossover, and that will then translate over to the daily chart, where you already see the first bar with a less or a lighter red color. And if the same thing happens that happened here, that means that we can very shortly expect a more significant move up, or happened here as well. And we moved all the way to the top of that channel. So that's interesting. Turning around, and I'm interested to see if this ascending broadening wedge is going to play out. For now, we are holding support here, and yeah, if you break below this support level of the broadening ascending wedge, which will be here at 42.4K, then I think we can drop to the support of that larger channel, which would be at 39.4K. Good, that's my view here on Bitcoin. It's of high importance how the weekly candle closes. So again, it's another roughly maybe 3 hours when you watch this video. Hopefully you like the update. And by the way, tomorrow, inflation data in the USA, that will be interesting as well. My opinion, it might lead to a bit of volatility, will not have a long lasting impact. As always, typically just has a short volatility as a result. But as I said, hopefully you like the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.